Alright. Oh wait. Hello. Today we got Casual Geographic, how humanity gave this animal the middle finger. Now, as you can see by the screen, bro.
That look kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you. It looked like a pigeon.
Yeah.
Mixed with a damn
Like a rooster or something?
a rooster or a motherfucking ostrich, nigga. Like, what the fuck? That shit a mini ostrich.
Dude, bro.
What the fuck?
This actually looks like a Pokemon. Anyways, shout out to Casual Geographic. Link to the original video down below. Go check it out. If you guys didn't know, we have a gaming channel, DNA.
Yeah.
Go check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, what is that? Oh my god, what is that?
Not for real, bro.
Oh nah.
They boomed him.
Oh nah.
You definitely know who this is and why he was an icon, but did
Yeah.
you know there were at least two creatures that khaki animal Jesus was afraid of? One, hippos. No
Yeah.
further explanation needed, but also parrots.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
the same Steve Irwin that cuddled crocodiles, got a hickey from a python on live TV and apologized to the python, and did this, was the same man that experienced
Is that
legitimate
baby?
fear in the face of an overgrown parakeet. And the crazy part is, that has nothing to do with this video. I really only brought that up to make my biggest fear sound less ridiculous. Because out of all the animals in the world, I've historically only been afraid of one. I've held 8-foot pythons when I was 6.
Damn.
I've had no problems with the spiders in my house.
hell
I've
no.
always had a soft spot for sharks. Yet the
No,
one animal that
damn.
could stop me dead in my tracks.
No.
Matter of fact, just guess. What do y'all think I'm about to say?
Bro, if it's none of that, cause bro, respectfully, I don't like spiders. And
Yeah.
You know that, bro.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
for sure.
I don't like bugs either, especially
sure.
like weird ones, but I
For
start
sure.
cringing.
For sure.
Or like spider eggs. No thank you.
Tweaking.
Obviously sharks is crazy.
Yeah, I'm not dancing with no shark, my nigga.
Yeah. What
They're
else do you say?
bugging.
Oh, snakes? I don't. No thank you.
I don't think I'd mind a snake, but like still like I don't know, them motherfuckers quick. Yeet, jab at your
Done. Exactly. So if it's not any of those, it's
What the
probably
hell
something
you-
we're not expecting. Like
yeah, for sure.
maybe damn. I might just go with like some sort of bird.
Here's an ad while you grapple with that. Pigeons.
Oh.
It's always been pigeons.
What?
I could never fully explain
scared
it,
of
but as early
pigeons?
as I can remember, these bum doves put the fear of Dante's Inferno in every fiber of my vessel. There's two stories that sum up my feelings towards pigeons. As a kid, I could vaguely remember crossing the street with my dad when one of the spawns of avian antichrist popped out from under the car like a Five Nights at Freddy's jump scare.
Oh,
and from
no.
the way my dad likes to tell this story, apparently I recoiled so bad that I jumped back and nearly got turned into a speed bump by a passing van. There's an alternate universe where my irrational fear of pigeons cost my folks a dependent
better
and
get
had me
isekai,
heaven
bro.
sent. So this is really more exposure therapy than an actual video, and the first step is understanding. There are a lot more types of pigeons than my subconscious could ever curse me with. There's over 350 pallets of pigeons populating the planet. You got the Victoria crowned pigeon, the biggest bird
Oh,
on the
wow.
roster whose headdress got it named after royalty.
That
Then
looks
there's
nice.
the Nicobar, the closest thing to a present-day dodo, and definitely the hypebeast flexor of the
Wow.
family.
Yo.
Can't forget the Karuru, the New Zealand
fuck?
variant, famous for being a crippling alcoholic. As in, they'll get so hammered off fermented fruit that they legit forget how to fly.
Oh my
You've
God,
probably
he's
heard the
upside
phrase
down.
turtle dove, especially this time of year. Well,
Nigga
today
think
I
he a
found out
bat.
that I apparently had no clue what they look like, or that they originated from the Middle East. A hop, skip, and an 8-hour flight to the Philippines, and you'll find a Luzon bleeding heart pigeon, named for obvious reasons. You got the silvery wood, the maroon pigeon, and the purple winged dove, all of which are in danger of being discontinued. And then you got the pigeons humans bred like dogs, which would easily make this the pug of poultry.
Oh.
It's like a pigeon police sketch done by a kindergartner on Adderall with no prior knowledge of anything bird. There's hundreds of breeds of pigeons, and the English
these are
powder
real.
might just be the nastiest work of all. Although
Yo,
the English
especially
Nah.
if I see them, I'm gonna be like weirded out.
Yeah, they look like they got breeded terribly, bruh.
Yeah, bro. Nah, I'm
I
not
feel
going
sorry for them niggas.
I'm
They're
not
like-
going down that road, bro.
They like they can barely walk, bruh.
The breeds of pigeons, and the English powder might just be the nastiest work of all. Although the English carrier might just be a close second, because honestly,
Yeah,
what in the
nasty too.
what even is this?
Yeah.
What was the goal if this was the outcome? All those pigeon remixes go back to the OG, the rock dove, aka the main mugshot that comes up when you Google pigeon. And this is where I stopped hating and started learning. For example, the rock dove was originally only found here. Well, actually here,
Where
in the
is
dark
here?
red.
Oh.
That's right, any place outside this red is a place people Uber the scourge of my soul. That includes what might as well be the pigeon capital of the world, New York City.
Yeah.
So of course I just had to grow up 15 minutes from it because RNG. Apparently, pigeons first touched American soil in the early 1600s via Europeans. That means the flying city merchant is more natural to the Sahara Desert than to the streets of Manhattan. Which brings me to half the reason I'm making this video.
What's the one thing you spend way too much time thinking about?
I think all the time about how we domesticated pigeons and then we decided we don't want to use them anymore for like messages. So they are completely reliant on humans. Have you ever seen like a nest of a pigeon?
No, and I didn't know we domesticated them either.
Yeah, their like nests are like 3 twigs and like the egg is just on the cold ground. So
Because they don't know how to build a nest because we messed them up?
yeah.
I did not know how to take this revelation, and after looking into it, she's half right. Pigeon nest is a meme as old as time. This is really something only an animal with
At
no
least
access
he
to
tried.
birth
That's
control
like
can
some
do.
laziness.
It's heavy
type
on the.
shit. What the? On a tire? He said, "Yeah, I don't feel like building this motherfucker. I'm gonna just put this right
Yeah,
here."
bro. Hey, that's his best attempt.
Yeah.
Them kids, but before they're even born. At this point, it's like they're trying so hard not to try that it would literally take less effort to try. The thing is, they weren't named Rock Dove for nothing. In the wild, they'd normally raise their aesthetically challenged children on cliff ledges or crevices, which ended up being not that far off from where they shack up now. And as long as the ground's flat and the egg doesn't roll away to become a late termination and an early onset omelet, this is really all they need. Minimalism for the win. But the other point she made about us pretty much abandoning them, turns out it's pretty accurate. Which actually brings me to my second story. So I had spent the day walking around New York with my mom and was understandably starving. So hungry that we decided to get food from a street side meat vendor. The cardinal sin of the city, but we didn't know any better.
Yeah.
The food was immediately off, but let's be honest, not enough for me to stop. I remember the meat tasting gamey and fatty and had this really strong aftertaste that I'd never experienced before.
Don't
It
tell
wasn't
me.
until I was 2/3 done that I noticed a small
No.
cage halfway tucked under the stand. A small cage with maybe a dozen pigeons squirming around.
No.
It's at this
Hell
moment
no,
I
no,
realized
no.
I was sold
Hell
a chicken
no.
leg lie. Your boy just ate some pigeon wings.
Bruh.
Now that story is almost completely made up, but peep how just the idea of getting calories from a
Okay.
Are you
concrete
dead
chicken
ass?
probably disgusted most of y'all. The thing is, pigeons are regularly eaten by people in a lot of places. Squab is a name for an immature prepubescent domestic pigeon, and it's considered a delicacy depending on where you're standing. It shouldn't even really be a surprise because one thing about pigeons, they get violated by the entire food chain.
They
I've
stepping
seen
on
with my
that
eyes pigeons get absolutely bodied
Oh, the
by
rats,
these
yeah,
savage
yeah,
people.
yeah.
They somehow manage to find ways to take L's
Really?
from turtles.
Really,
In
dude?
fact, there's a catfish that specializes in murking an animal that literally got gift wrapped the ability to fly. To add insult to
Catfish?
injury, the fish is virtually blind. How do you fumble that bad? Pretty much the
Facts.
entire cast of Over the Hedge plays population control for pigeons, and we've all seen how pelicans conduct themselves in pigeon presence. And humans were no different, and food was one of the many reasons pigeons were added to the American census. Another reason was to employ them as messengers before iPhone became a thing. But another reason
What the hell?
was for pets. There was a time where owning a pack of pigeons wasn't just normal, it was a sign of status. If you had pigeons on your property, it meant you were probably doing well in life. Akbar the Great of the Mughal Empire had not one, but 2,000 pigeons as wow, that is a comma. Make that 20,000 pigeons. But in the time since, hoarding pigeons went
20,000, bro.
Nah,
He's walling.
that's
comma.
OD.
Make that 20,000 pet pigeons.
You
But
know
in the
it smell
time
like
since,
straight
hoarding
dookie.
pigeons went from a flex to something that guarantees you dirty looks on the subway. And that's thanks to one of the most egregious gaslight campaigns you've ever seen. In June 1966, New York Parks Commissioner Thomas Hoving verbally eviscerated pigeons, blaming them for spreading filth and disease, and used a term you've definitely heard of, rats with wings. And just like that, the pigeon's reputation went straight to hell, with no return trip. A couple things that are interesting though. In the same article, Mr. Hoving also blamed the homeless and homosexuals for bringing property value down. He also
What?
became the commissioner January 16th, 1966 and resigned March 15th of the next year. His actual term was just over a year, but the slander he tagged the Metro Tweety with was permanent. Then Woody Allen dogpiled on them and humanity has hated pigeons ever since.
It's not pretty at all there. They're rats with wings.
It's kind of like how
wow.
Mark Twain roasted coyotes so flagrantly, not only did it single-handedly earn them smoke from the public, it was directly responsible for the luckless Looney Tune. That's not a throwaway joke either. Look up what Wile E. Coyote was based on. It's actually wild. But thanks to these 3 words, the bird that was more common in royalty than marrying your cousin got typecast as a flying version of the animal whose hygiene allegedly turned half the population into a hashtag. I gotta say allegedly because new evidence suggests that rats weren't even responsible for the plague to begin with.
Really?
Bro,
Pigeons
don't do
got
that.
lied on too
That-
because they're
bro,
nowhere near.
That would That's what we learned in history class.
Motherfucker, these motherfuckers be not teaching you the right
So
history.
so who's lying here, huh?
Nigga, the education system. Yeah.
Saying, what?
I gotta say allegedly because new evidence suggests that rats weren't even responsible for the plague to begin with.
Why the fuck you lying?
I see.
Pigeons got lied on too because they're nowhere near the disease risk we label them as, and I legitimately didn't know that before researching.
That motherfucker
They
throwing
can
them
carry
shits.
disease, but because of their immune system, it's actually rare for them to transmit them to people. I know, I couldn't believe it either. It also turns out the glorified gutter tweety is actually resistant to bird flu. Now they still can catch you slipping, and usually the problems come from their lesser half. When pigeons drop deuces in one spot, it can
Oh
dry up
my
and eventually
God,
turn into
yep.
dust. Breathe enough of that doo-doo dust and you can end up with a nasty infection known as bird handler's lung.
Dead ass?
But
So you
even
better clean
then,
your
it takes
car,
a
nigga.
lot. Like on some, you clean bird as a hobby for you to be exposed enough to be down bad.
Yeah.
So, pigeons carry diseases, but no more than any other animal. I mean, by that logic, humans carry disease, but we're still out here raw dogging handshakes. Dogs can carry disease, yet I still see people tongue kissing them.
Oh,
Here are
God.
walking
God,
Airbnbs
yeah.
for ticks peddling Lyme disease, and cats done infected half the people watching this.
Bruh.
Yet pigeons are the ones that got tattooed as rodents with frequent flyer miles. Between 1941 and 2003, there have been 176 documented cases of pigeons passing off disease to a human. And again, it'd virtually take you being Buddy from that one Hey Arnold episode. You know what else I found out? Pigeons don't really spill sugar honey iced tea while flying. They 100% can, but since that could involve hitting their own feet, they prefer to do it on a perch. So it turns out the dirtiest thing about pigeons is the way we've done them. Which actually sucks because once I started to work past my pigeon prejudice, I realized, I can't believe I'm about to say this.
So people be lying.
Pigeons are low-key broken, like they're mad talented for no reason. Like for example, they're one of the fastest things with wings in the world.
Really?
Pigeons can fly at
Really?
averages of 60 miles per hour, but
Yo,
can
damn,
fly
he
at
just
nearly
keep it up.
100. There have even been stories of
Yo, he
pigeons
just passed the
triggering
car.
speed cameras in streets. We don't really notice because one of their biggest ops also happens to be the
Oh my-
fastest thing alive.
Damn.
Which is how they can get packed up by a 200-mile-per-hour falcon.
Oh,
But pigeons still
Man,
have
that's
the
like he broke sound barriers,
Yo,
nigga.
bro, dust came out of that,
What
bro.
the fuck?
which is
Oh
how
my-
they can get packed up by a 200-mile-per-hour falcon.
Damn.
But pigeons still have the juice to dodge a peregrine and live to talk about it. Put it this way, the fastest
Wait.
thing on Earth hunts pigeons, and even that's not a total mismatch. And a good reason is another superpower we don't talk about. Their eyes. The only real self-defense pigeons practice is the power of foresight. So if they don't
Look
see
over
danger
there,
coming,
bro.
or worse, don't recognize it, they just get bullied. But pigeons have 340-degree vision and can even see wavelengths of light invisible to us. They're so busted that the US Navy once upon a time tried using the chicken of the city to conduct search and rescue missions out in the ocean. Basically, they trained a couple pigeons to recognize random red or orange objects, you know, the colors you'd expect from a life jacket, and then press, or more like peck, on a switch on site. In test runs,
How?
the pigeons noticed the target 90% of the time, completely outclassing the human rescue crew who just barely pulled off 40%.
How
Wonders
do
the
you
fact
do that?
Pigeons could
How?
remain vigilant for hours without falling off. Unfortunately, the experiment was cut short due to budget cuts, and every pigeon involved getting killed during a crash landing. But even this experiment showcased another pigeon flex. They're way smarter than they get credit for. They probably would if they could talk like parrots or ravens. But even with a brain in the weight class of a walnut, pigeons can still surprise us. Trained pigeons can actually pass the mirror test, the same one most dogs and cats fail. In
That is like,
what is that?
1995, a study found that pigeons could be taught to tell the difference between a Picasso painting and Monet. I'm not gonna lie to you, I myself can't do that. To a similar beat, pigeons could be trained to tell apart malignant breast tumors from the benign. And yeah, we're still
What?
talking about a bird here. A German study in
But
1990
how do you
found
train that? Like, how do you?
I don't know, bro.
How do you?
I don't know, bro.
I don't know. Like, how do you communicate
How
that
do
with
you,
the
how do you
birds?
start with it overall? Like, what's the steps you have to take? Like, I don't know. It's crazy. Motherfuckers always experimenting on shit, bro.
A German study in 1990 found that the avian overachievers could successfully memorize 725 different black and white patterns and correctly identify the 100 patterns associated with a reward. Pigeons also have an ability to count that rivals primates. Bro, tell me why folks found out that the Bane of Broadway can read. So what scientists did, right? They taught these pigeons a bunch of words and would either show a real word on screen or a misspelt one to go with a star.
Wow.
If it was an actual word like, for example,
Yeah.
dog, they had to peck at the word. And if it was some nonsense like ugged, the rules were to peck at the star. Get it right and they'd win food. Tell me why the
Wow.
feathery assault on your windshield actually did better than the baboons that took the same test.
Really?
'Cause at this moment, I went from highly impressed to low-key concerned with how smart pigeons are. There's like 5 million of them in NYC. We're cooked if they turn on us. There's a couple other pigeon facts I picked up.
Start
that
running
thing
at
they'll
us
do
at
where they'll
60
fly
miles per
around in
hour.
a circle as a synchronized group, that has a name, and it's called murmuration. The
fuck
best
that
theory
mean?
for why they do this is
That's
as a
cool.
predator response, because their honest-to-God best defense is just making it harder to be singled out. That weird, crusty-looking bump on their beaks is called the operculum, and it's really only there to cover the nostrils. And like a middle-aged hairline, it slowly starts to disappear as they get older. Pigeons are also monogamous and one of the minority of birds that take till death seriously. That's probably why you've never seen a baby pigeon. Parents supervise them virtually 24/7 until they look like the urbanite we're used to. Pigeons are as loyal as birds get. So it's no surprise they've had success in the military. This is Cher Ami, one of the many homing pigeons used by the US during World War I. And in 1918, over 500 men got pinned behind enemy lines with no food, water, or ammunition. Their only option was releasing carrier pigeons begging for support, but the surrounding Germans peeped game and started lighting up any pigeon that tried. And that included Sheikh Ami, who got shot out of the air, but like a goddamn phoenix managed to get back up. Against every force of nature, the plucky pigeon made it back to base, traveling a smooth 25 miles in 25 minutes to deliver the message that would end up saving the remaining 194 men. And he did it half blind with a bullet wound and a leg hanging on by a literal thread. The bird whose name means my dear friend past tense later the next year, but would be forever immortalized in the Smithsonian as the MVP of the 77th Infantry. G.I. Joe was a homing pigeon who came in clutch when he delivered a message calling off an airstrike of a village that the British had already regained control of from the Germans. If G.I. Joe didn't basically score at the buzzer, at least 1,000 soldiers would have been turned into ashes. And then there was William of Orange, who traveled 250 miles in just over 4 hours to request air support after the radio sets had failed. Turned out he was the air support.
How did he know where to go, bro?
Bro, I know, it's very mind-blowing, bro. That shit is crazy, bro. It's honestly crazy. That's why you can't sleep on fucking nature, bro.
You can't, man.
You can't, bro.
4 hours to request air support
This
after
is
the radio
insane,
sets
bro.
had failed. Turned out he was the air support, and William's carry job saved about 2,000 men.
Dang,
He would
yo.
be one of the 32 pigeons to earn the Dickin Award, which was basically like a
Dickin
finals
Award.
MVP but for animals.
Hey, come on,
Somehow pigeons went from war heroes to people actively trying to wipe them out. We really stayed doing our troops wrong. But I think it's safe to say, I was wrong. I was not familiar with their game. You won't catch me moving like this guy, but I'll definitely
Yeah, I'm
respect
not
them.
doing that.
Just from a reasonable distance. And that's the most character development you're gonna get. Drink water, hug your love, show a pigeon you appreciate them.
Hey,
And I'ma see y'all in the next one.
That shit got one leg? It looked like it.
What's that? Wait. What was
a
that?
pigeon.
No, but I'm
was
sure it
staring
showed
at something.
something else.
I don't know what that is.
What is this?
Show like a frog or something. I don't know.
What is he trying to show us with this? Oh, he lived, by the way? Oh, the one that fell. You remember it jumped?
Oh,
Over here?
yeah.
Oh.
That's just fucking
He's like,
purring,
yeah,
nigga?
that
What
feels
the
good.
you're purring like a cat.
Facts. Hey, man, I'm not gonna lie. This video was actually really
Nah, that's very
interesting.
fire, yeah.
All that. Like, I genuinely feel like I learned something.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Now I feel like I'm gonna get a pet pigeon. Fuck.
Send me a message, though.
Got
Like,
you.
train it to come here.
I got you.
And peck at the door. Like,
I
I'm gonna
got
leave an orange, like, slide on it.
I got you.
So when he sees it, he could...
Yeah. Put it on the doorknob. I mean the doorbell. So ding 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 ding.
Yeah, I'm opening
Yeah.
the door. I was good. Take the thing
You know what
out.
I'm saying?
Right on it. Send it back to you.
Know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
that's
Yeah.
lit, bro.
You know what
Feel
I'm saying?
me?
Yeah. Anyways, man, that
Yo.
was that, man. If y'all like video, like it. You can't like video, not like it. Oh, yeah, peace fuck out.
Damn.
Fuck off.
Stupid.
Yeah, goddamn, man.
Yo, shout out to Casual.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, man, if you don't like the video, you're going to get a pigeon sent to your house soon.
Oh, God.
Now, there's going to be a code on it.
Yep.
Make sure you decipher that code, because
Yep.
if you don't decipher that code,
Yep.
yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's GG for you.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Imagine dying because of a pigeon. Crazy. Imagine dying because you didn't like the video. Crazy.
Couldn't be me.
Couldn't be me, my boy. See ya.